Hello, welcome. My name is Petra, for those of you who don't know me yet. And today we will have a yoga class that is focused on our hips and our back, specifically our lower back. Now you can also do this class if you already have some pain in the lower back. But just then be very careful, really listen to your body. Only go as far as it's still okay for you. So that means, yes, you feel a good stretch, but you don't want to feel any big pain there. All right, so we will be doing lots of stretching, twisting, which is also very good for the back, and really trying to release any tension in hips and lower back. Let's get started. So, come into a seated position any way that works for you. By the way, I also have a yoga block. In case you have a yoga block, always a good idea to have a block next to your mat. If not, you can also use a book or blanket or bolster. And then just sit that way that feels comfy for you. Try to straighten your back as much as you can. And then hands on your legs. And then just arrive here on your mat. Close off your eyes. Taking a few very deep breaths here. Really calming down your breathing. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Deep exhale. One more time. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale. Very good. Now keep your mouth closed. Continue with deep in and exhales through the nose. Do this all during your practice. Always reconnecting with the breath. And then from here, if you would like to, you can keep your eyes closed. Inhaling, arms stretched to the side and up. Give yourself a nice stretch here. Maybe stretching one side first and then the other. Maybe interlacing the fingers, turning the palms. Really. Already here, feel your back stretching, maybe looking up. And then from here, you only bring your right hand next to your body. Inhaling, reach the left arm really high up. And then on the exhale, reach the arm over your head, and then you can bring the elbow even down to the mat if that is okay. If not, then you stay on your hand. So inhaling, really reaching to the side, and if it's okay for your neck, you can look up to the ceiling. Take deep breath, and here you will probably feel a very nice stretch on your left side. Take deep breath in there. Also see that you send the breath to the area between your ribs, so in your rib cage. By the way, if it's not okay for your neck, you can just look forward or even down to the mat. Don't overstretch your neck. And then inhaling, coming back up, stretch both arms up again. Very good. And now you bring down first your left hand next to your body. You reach your right arm up. Really reach it up, up, up. And then you reach over your head. And then again, you can stay on your hand or even coming down on your elbow. Really enjoy this side stretch here. We hardly ever do side stretches during the day in our everyday movements, so this should feel really good. And then inhaling, coming back up, stretch up one more time, maybe again interlacing the fingers, turning the palms. Long, good stretch here. And then on the exhale, bring your palms forward, stretch long. Maybe even walking with your fingers forward. And try to keep your sitting bones on the mat. Now again, stretching the back. And only go as far as it feels good for you. Maybe you can release your forehead down, maybe not, all is good. Then from here, walk back with your fingers and we're going to come on to our all fours. In your all fours, make sure you spread your fingers nice and wide, knees underneath your hips. And then on the inhaling, looking up, dropping the belly, on the exhale, rounding. And really now feel this rounding, not just in the upper back, also in the lower back. Inhaling, dropping the belly. Feel how this stretches our spine in both directions. And now we're going to add a movement here. So we're going to move back, sit on our heels, and then we round our back and come forward into cat. Inhaling, arch the back, look up, sitting back. Exhaling, round your back, drop your head, coming back forward. Inhaling back. And exhaling forward. Always a good idea to keep your eyes closed, really feel into this movement. One more time. Inhaling, sitting back. Exhaling, rounding, coming forward. Very good. And then come back to a neutral position. Now we start moving our hands over to the right side, so to the side of the mat. So ideally your hands are parallel to the right side of your mat. And then from here, we continue doing cat and cows. Inhaling, looking up, dropping the belly. Exhaling, rounding. And then you probably feel more of a stretch on your left back side. That's a very important muscle back there to stretch, as it is often also responsible for back pain. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, rounding, dropping the back. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time on this side. Inhaling, looking up, dropping the belly. Exhaling, rounding, really round the lower back up. And then coming back to neutral and wandering over to your left side. Again, make sure that your palms press into the ground. Palms are parallel now to the left side. Inhaling, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. This is really one added dimension in the cat and cow, which should hopefully feel really good for your back. If not, like I said, you just move out a bit of this. Just do what you really feels good for you. And then slowly coming back into a normal position. So normal hands looking forward. And now we're going to lift up our right knee. So press into your hands, press yourself away from the mat. Then we lift up our right knee only. And then exhaling, bring that knee to your nose, round your back. Inhaling, looking up or looking forward. On the exhaling, rounding, lift that knee high. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Keep your left side completely stable now, just the right side moves. Very good, one more time, right knee back up and exhaling, can't bring the right knee back down. We move straight into the other side. Left knee comes back up and then exhaling, rounding, lifting up the knee to your nose. Inhaling back up, rounding. See that you can really lift up that right knee as high as possible. One more time, rounding, bring the knee to your nose and then knee back up and then left knee down. Very nice. Now tuck your toes, press into your hand to your upper body, presses away from the mat and we press back into a downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent. We're going to move a bit our legs here one by one, stretching the back of the legs. Deep breaths. And then come into stillness. Now bring your weight on your right hand and the left hand holds on to the outside of the right lower leg or ankle or even foot. A bit of a side stretch. You can look through your right arm here. And then left hand onto the mat, weight onto the left hand and then right hand reaches towards the left side. You can look through your left arm. And then right hand back, bend your knees on your toes, slowly walking forward. Alright, now you have your feet about hip width and then just hang here. Keep your knees slightly bent, always keep your knees bent and then just hang here. You see if that feels good for your lower back. Normally it should, because really there is no pressure now onto the lower back. You can shake your head yes and no. And now grab hold of your elbows and sway a bit from side to side here. Again, you should hang here. The head is relaxed and really hang as deep as you can with your knees bent. And then come back to the center and now we start moving up and down a little bit carefully. This also normally should be good because it releases more fascia, which also sometimes causes some pain. Keep small movements up and down. Very good. And from here, come back to stillness. Now we're going to make a big circle over the right side, coming up. So inhaling over the right side, coming up. Stretch the elbows behind the ears and exhaling over the left side down.
Very good. Hang a bit here. Before, on an inhale, we're coming back up now over the left side. Elbows behind the ears, and on the exhale, we're coming over all back to the right side. Very good. Here you hang, you can release your arms. Maybe sway a bit from side to side again. Make sure you have your bend in the knees. Maybe your hands can even grab hold of the opposite leg. Just really swaying here from side to side. Again, feel into your lower back. Should be good, this stretch here. And then coming back forward, bend your knees and very slowly we're rolling up. Chin first close to your chest, and then once you're up, roll your shoulders up and back down. Inhaling up, exhaling back down. One more time. Inhaling up and exhaling back down. Very good. Then come standing in front of the mat. We're going to flow through a few sun salutations. Feet are hip width, legs are engaged. Tailbone is slightly tucked. So always try to engage your core a little bit. So that means automatically the tailbone will tuck slightly. That also means with an engaged core, you are protecting your back. Inhaling, reach the arms up, look up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, halfway lift, look to the front. Exhaling, plant your palms, stepping back into plank. From here, bring your knees down, arch your back, chest and chin down. Inhaling, cobra. Here, lift up your hands. Really feel the work happening in your upper back. Exhaling, tuck your toes over your knees, back into a downward facing dog. Press into your hands, keep your knees bent, please. Straighten your back, head is relaxed. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then on your toes, bend your knees more, look to the front, step, walk or jump between your hands. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold, and then inhaling, reach your arms widen up, look up, and now if you're okay in your back, you can try to come into a slight back bend, and exhaling, folding forward, bend knees straight back. Inhaling, halfway lift, look to the front. Exhaling, plant your palms, stepping back into plank. From here, knees, chest, chin down. Inhaling, cobra. Lift up the hands. Exhaling, palms press down. Tuck your toes over your knees into a downward facing dog. Take deep breaths. Keep your knees bent. Hips reach up to the ceiling. Just one more sun salutation after this one. It's really a good warm-up for the whole body. On your toes, bend your knees, look to the front, step, walk or jump between your hands. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. And then inhaling, arms reach wide and up. Again here, maybe slight back bend. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, straight back. Exhaling, plant your palms, stepping back to plank. Knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, tuck your toes over your knees into downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. And then from here, lift up that right leg. Feel the stretch on the back of the left leg, and now bend that right knee and then open up your hips. Make circles here with your right knee, warming up the hips more, and then also changing the directions. Very good. And then from here, make a very big circle with your right knee. And then bring your right knee and your upper right arm, and then step the right foot to the outside of that right hand. Bring your left knee down. And then start moving front and back. We're going to warm up here, release our hips a bit. Now if you need any support for your left knee, you can double up your mat like this, or you put a blanket underneath your left knee. Keep coming forward low and then moving back, stretching that right leg. Moving to those hips. Work with your breath all the time. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. So stretch back one more time and then come forward. Come really low in your hip. So you want to stretch the left hip flexor. So that's the front of your left hip. That's the psoas muscle. It's a really important muscle to stretch. And from here, you can either stay here. If you want to go one step further, you can come down on your elbows. Or if you have your block or your other support, you can bring your elbows on that support as well. So find a good way for you. So it should stretch you, but again, still be okay without any pain. You know, we really need to learn to listen to our body. There is a good stretch, good deep stretch, which normally feels good, and then there's a bad stretch which causes pain. That one we should never move into. And then come back up into your hands. Now turn your right foot a bit out to the right side. Weight onto your left hand and try to really hang here also again and stretch the front of your left leg, and then right hand to the inside of that right leg, and you press it away from you, and then your upper body turns towards the right side. Look up. This is a really deep stretch. So take deep breaths here. Now, if you want to go one step further, you bend your left knee and try to find, the right hand tries to find the left foot. But keep hanging here deep into your hips. So this is a really deep, deep stretch. Take deep breaths. And then slowly let go of your left foot if you have it. Then right hand back onto the mat. And we're going to step back into a downward facing dog. Now here, walk your dog. Release. And also feel the difference in your hips from the right to the left side. If there is any. Very good. Then again, press into your hands and we lift up the left leg. We bend the left knee and then we're going to open up the hips. Really try to bring the left heel towards your right butt cheek and start making circles with that left knee. And the other way. And then make a big circle to the side with your left knee towards your left upper arm and then step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Right knee comes down, again maybe doubling up the mat. And right away start your movement, back and front. When you come forward now, feel a good stretch on the right front of your hip flexor, which gets very tight from sitting all day. Then one more time, move back, stretching maybe the left leg. Then move forward, try to be really low in your hips. And then you can stay here, or you bring your elbows onto the mat, or you support. And showing a good stretch here. Taking deep breaths. The more we focus and relax here on our breathing, the more deeper we can go into the movement. And then coming back up onto your hands. Now turn your left foot out to the left side. Weight onto your right hand, low in your hips. Now press the left hand to the inside of that left leg and twisting over to the left side. Take deep breaths. And here, if you also want, you can bend your right knee and find your foot here with your left hand. And then letting go, left hand down. Tuck your right toe, stepping back into downward facing dog, where you again can walk your dog here. Very good. Now from here, we're going to come into a squatting position. So bring your right foot to the outside of the right hand. And the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And then first, come onto your toes. Hands are down onto the mat and just move a bit from side to side here. Opening up more your hips. And then we're coming into our squat. Now, you can stay on your toes. Or you come down on your heels if that's okay for you. Just see that you have a straight back as much as possible. So you don't want to round here like this. You really want to straighten your back. The arms press on the inside of the legs. So they press the legs apart, palms together, and you look straight forward. Now, this is one option. If that's too much, you cannot straighten your back. It's a good idea to take your support. So that needs something where you can sit on. Then you sit on your block, for example. And then again, you press the arms on the inside of the legs. This way you can straighten your back much more. So either way is good. Always find the one that works best for you. Taking deep breaths. Relaxing here. Maybe also moving a bit from side to side again with your hips. Now this is really good
for your lower back, because there's no weight on your lower back at all. It releases tensions in the hips. Ideally, you do this stretch every day. And then very slowly sit back down. Keep your knees bent. And then just see that you bring your belly onto your upper thighs. Rest a bit here. Take deep breaths. Start feeling the effects already of the practice. And then from here, you can bring your hands onto your feet and then see if you can straighten your legs a bit more without releasing the connection of your belly to your upper thighs. This way you give your lower back a really good stretch. And again, keep this connection here, that's the important part. And then you will feel here in the back a good stretch. And let go. Deep breaths. Then slowly coming back up. I'm coming your way so I can show you better. Keep your knees bent, but now open up your legs. You have your hands behind your hips, maybe your fingers look away from you. And now start moving your knees from side to side. Really move them so maybe you can press your knees down each time. And then next time, you have your knees over to the right side, leave them there. And then you start sitting up and then you turn your body. So from the center of your body, you turn over towards the right side. So turn, turn, turn and see if you can turn towards the back. Bringing the hands again to the outside or the back of the mat. Really twisting here from the middle of the body. Knees stay low. So this is a really, really good stretch also for hips and lower back. Take deep breaths. Relax into it. And then coming back forward, leave your legs as they are. So your legs should now be what is called 90-90. So both knees are bent 90 degrees. Now turn your upper body in the direction of your right knee, and then you can start moving forward towards that right knee and coming down. Come on your elbows maybe, or see how it works for you, even coming down all the way. This is again, you should feel a really good stretch here in your hips. Take deep breaths. And then slowly coming back up. And again, hands on your back, and we're going to move our knees again from side to side. Again, maybe you feel a difference already from one side to the next. And then next time you have your knees over to the left side, leave them there and then move, start sitting up a bit more and move your upper body towards the left first and then turning towards the back. Really twisting the body as much as possible from your center. Both knees are down or both legs are down onto the mat. Take deep breath here. So you should feel a really good stretch here also in your belly, in your back, in your hips. And then slowly coming back out. See again that you have both legs bent 90 degrees. And now we start moving over your left knee, coming forward, maybe onto your elbows. If it feels good, maybe you can lie down all the way onto the mat, forehead onto the mat, without changing anything in your knees. Wherever you are is good. So you just want to feel a really good stretch here in your hip area. And relax into it. And then coming back up, sit back up, move your knees again a bit from side to side. And then from here, keep the knees open, but now we bring our feet together. And you can have your heels closer to your body or a bit further away. It doesn't really matter, whatever works for you. You want to sit up nice and tall. Maybe you can bring in your thumb on the soles of the feet and you open up the feet like a little book here. Try to press your shoulders down away from the ears. Try to straighten your back. And then slowly folding forward, maybe bringing the elbows on the inside of the legs and pressing your legs open a bit more. But be very careful here, because here this is a very deep stretch for the inside of the legs as well as for the hips, so you don't want to overstretch here. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time, inhaling, then on the exhale, release down, maybe a bit more. And now sit back up, but keep your right knee bent, straighten your left leg forward. So now you have your right foot on the inside of the left leg. Try to sit nice and tall here. We're going to come to fold forward over our left leg. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling again, you try to bring the belly towards your thigh. Exhaling, folding forward. Maybe you can hold on to your lower leg, maybe to your foot. Just come forward as much as you can. And then relax into it.
And then coming back up, and we're going to change the legs. Left foot now on the inside of that right leg. Sit up nice and tall. Really see that both hips look forward. Inhaling, reaching the arms up, and exhaling, folding forward. Relax down. Forward folds are very relaxing. And then on the inhale, coming up. Now we're gonna do, starting with this side, a nice twist. So bring your left knee up and step it over your right leg. And from here, try to sit up really nice and tall, so you sit firmly on both sit bones. We're going here into a twist. You can try to bend your right leg, but then you still want to make sure you can sit firmly on both sit bones. If that's not possible, you keep your right leg bent, straight, And then on the inhale, you bring the upper arm of the right upper arm to the outside of that left leg and really press into it, so you can press yourself into this twist. So inhaling, you want to straighten your back, and exhaling, you want to twist. Really try also here to have your back straight as much as possible, shoulders away from the ears. You should feel a really good twist here in your spine and belly. Take deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. One more time, deep inhale, straighten your back, exhaling, twist a bit further. Very good, slowly coming out of this side, changing the legs. Now you have your left leg straight and the right foot steps over the left leg. Again, sit up nice and tall. If you would like to, you can now bend the left leg, sitting up tall. But always make sure you have both hip bones on the mat. Now, the left arm to the outside of that right leg and twist yourself into this. Right hand behind your back. Inhaling, straightening your back. Exhaling, turning and twisting. Twists are really, really good for our spine and for our lower back, because we are straightening and then we're turning it. Our spine loves that. Inhaling, straightening, and exhaling, twisting. Inhaling, straightening, exhaling, twisting a bit more. And then one more time, inhaling, straighten your back a lot, and exhaling, maybe twisting your deepest yet. And then letting go, bend both knees, Rest on your bent legs. Forehead onto the knees. Just take a quick rest here. Taking deep breaths. And then from here, start rounding your back. We're going to come lying down on our back. Take your legs with you. And then just roll on your back. Give yourself a nice massage here. You can also move your knees in circles so you feel a nice massage on the lower back here. Whatever works for you here, just do it. Massaging your back, or maybe opening up the knees. And then from here we're coming into happy baby pose, which is another really good stretch for our hips. So keep your knees bent, arms on the inside of the legs, and then try to hold on to either the ankles, the outside of the ankles, or even the outside of the feet. Now the feet look up to the ceiling and your hands press your legs down, and your lower back, try to keep your lower back as much as possible on the mat. Really good stretch here for your hips. And then if you would like to, you can play a bit here, moving from side to side. Or also straightening one leg and then the other leg. Just see what works for you. Maybe you just want to stay here in stillness. It's also good. And then just let go of your feet, press the knees towards your body, bring your forehead onto your knees, make yourself small like a little ball here, and then let go. Now bring your feet onto the mat. See that your middle fingers can touch your heels. And now palms press into the mat. We're slowly, carefully rolling up our spine. So first thing, tuck your tailbone in again. So engage your core, tuck your tailbone so the hips lift up first, and then slowly you're going to lift up your spine here. Once you're up, you're rolling down again very slowly. Rest on the mat, and again engage your core slightly, lifting up the hips first, and then slowly coming up with your hips. Press your hips up, and then exhaling, slowly rolling down again. Nice massage for your spine. And then one more time, engage your core, lift up your hips first, and then rolling up. And then we're going to interlace our fingers below our back, maybe elbows pushing a bit more, and then hips up. Now knees stay close together. Now see how this works for your back. If you have any issues, just let go, slowly rolling down again. Everyone else, just see that you press your knees together and your hips up. Take deep breaths. And then let go of your hands, slowly rolling out. And then your back is on your mat. Open up your knees or your feet mat width, and then sway your knees from side to side.
So it's like what we have done before. It's like this 90-90 position. Now just lying down. We've done this in a seated position. Just sway your knees from side to side. And then next time you have your knees over to your right side, leave them there. Take your right foot on top of the left leg. Then you can look over towards your left side, and now you should feel a really strong stretch on the front of the left hip, your hip flexor. This is such an important stretch here. If this muscle is tight, very often we feel it in our lower back. Really try to send your breath down there. This way you will feel it even more, an even deeper stretch. One more deep breath all the way down into your belly, inhaling and exhaling, letting go even more. And then slowly first bring your head back, then release your legs. Again, feet mat width and swaying the knees from side to side. And then next time you have your knees over to the left side, you leave them there. Left foot lifts up, and on top of that right leg, you can look over to your right side. Now see how the stretch feels on your right hip flexor here. Maybe it's not even as intense, or maybe it's even more intense, depending on if your hips are equal. Mine, for example, are not. I feel less stretch here on this side. Again, deep inhales, breath all the way down there. And exhale. One more time, very deep inhale. And then let go. Exhaling. And then release your left foot, knees up, and then sway a bit your hips from side to side. Maybe you can feel that you can now sway them further from side to side. And then lift up your knees. If it feels good, roll a bit again on your back, massaging your back. And then we're coming into a twist on the side. So bring out your arms, stretch them to the side, and then
bring your knees 90 degrees, and then over to the right side. You can look over to the left. So you can stay here. If you already feel a nice stretch here, you want to feel it on the back. So on the left side here in your back. If you feel a good stretch, then you can stay here. You can go a step further. Take your right hand onto your left leg and maybe pressing your legs further down into the ground. That's another option. And the last option, you can take your left hand and bring your right knee towards, or right foot, towards your left hand and maybe hold on to that foot. And then you want to relax into either version you have here. Just relax and let go. And then either version you are in, just let go, roll back out slowly, gently onto your back. Lift up those knees again. Spread your arms wide. The knees are bent 90 degrees, and now we bring them over to the left side and we look over towards our right hand. You can stay here if the stretch feels already good. Otherwise, take your left hand to the outside of your right leg, pressing the legs further down. And the last version, you take your right hand in the direction of the left foot, bringing the left foot towards your hand, and then maybe you can hold on to your left foot. Deep inhales and exhales. And then from here, first the head back to your center, release your legs and roll on to your back. We're coming into Shavasana. So stretch your legs long, feet are falling out, arms stretched to the side. Now you can stay here. If this does not feel good for your lower back, just bend your knees again, have your feet mat width, and then you let your knees fall in. So your knees
come together. This is a really good release again for your lower back. And then together we take 3 deep inhales and exhale to let go of everything. Deep inhale through the nose, letting go through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, let it out. One more time. Deep inhale through the nose. And deepest exhale yet. And now close your mouth, let go, just let your breath, let it go into its normal rhythm. Then from here, in case you have your knees bent, stretch your legs, stretch your arms overhead and give yourself a full body stretch. Waking up the whole body again. And then bend your knees, hand to your knees, and then roll from side to side. Eventually rolling over to the right side. And then start pressing with your left hand, start pressing yourself back up into a seated position. Keep your eyes closed. Find an easy sitting position again that works for you. Try to sit nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, hands on your legs, and feel into your body. Hopefully this practice was good for your hips and for your lower back, releasing tension there. The more often you do the whole practice or even just individual exercises, the better it is. You will feel the effects very soon. We will close with one arm. Bring your palms together in front of the chest. Inhaling deeply. And we begin. Bow down to your 2 fingers. Give yourself a big thank you for working on your hips and your back. Namaste, guys. Thanks for joining me on the mat. Hope you're feeling nice and relaxed, specifically your hips and your lower back. Thanks for joining, and I hope I see you again soon on the yoga mat for another class. Bye. Have a good day.